When was the last time you wanted to reach through the phone and grab the liar on the other end? I'll wait, because I know the answer. It was probably this morning, or yesterday, or the day before that. They call during dinner, they call at dawn, they wear down the defenses of people who still believe that a voice on the phone might be telling the truth. In the old days, a thief looked you in the eye. There was a moment of choice, a moment where both parties understood the stakes. Now, they hide behind pixels and spoofed numbers. They sit in rooms thousands of miles away and destroy lives with a script and a headset. They're invisible. But invisibility isn't the same as invincibility. Arthur came into my shop on a Tuesday, 75 years old, hands like leather from 40 years on a factory floor. The kind of man who still wears a watch because he believes time should be something you can feel ticking. He set his grandfather's pocket watch on my counter with the care most men reserve for newborns. It was a Hamilton, 1923, gold-filled case worn smooth by 3 generations of honest work. "I need to sell it," he said. His voice cracked on the word, "sell." I didn't touch the watch. I looked at his eyes instead, red-rimmed, shame sitting in them like oil on water. "Tell me why," I said. He didn't want to. Pride is a hard thing to swallow when you've spent 75 years building it. But shame is heavier. So he told me. The call came on a Thursday. A young man's voice, panicked, crying, "Grandpa, I'm in jail. I had an accident. Please don't tell Mom. They said I need bail money or they'll keep me here overnight." Then another voice, official, cold. "Sir, your computer has been infected with a virus." Arthur had served in Vietnam. He'd raised 3 kids. He'd survived a factory closure and a wife's slow death from cancer. But that voice on the phone found the one crack in his armor: fear for his family. He went to 3 different banks, withdrew everything, wired it to an address in 3 separate transactions because they told him the system had limits. He called his daughter 2 hours later to check if his grandson was okay. His grandson had been at work all day. The silence on that call, Arthur said, was louder than any explosion he'd heard in the war. The money was gone, but worse than the money was what he saw in the mirror: a fool. That's what shame does. It turns victims into accomplices in their own humiliation. I picked up the watch, felt its weight, opened the case, and listened to the mechanism. It was running 5 minutes slow. The mainspring was tired. The escape wheel needed cleaning. "I'm not buying this," I told him. His face fell. "But I am taking your case." I don't trace phone numbers. I don't hack IP addresses. That's a young man's game, and young men miss the important details. I follow the money. Wire transfers don't vanish into the ether. They land somewhere, usually in the hands of what they call a money mule, someone local who withdraws the cash for a cut and passes it up the chain. Arthur gave me the transaction records. I gave him $200 and told him it was a deposit on repair work. He didn't want to take it. I made him. The mule was easy to find. 22 years old, 3 DUIs, worked part-time at a car wash, and somehow deposited $15,000 in cash every week. I waited in the parking lot of his bank, followed him to a warehouse on the south side. Industrial area, the kind of place where neighbors don't call the police because there are no neighbors. Just chain link and broken asphalt and buildings that used to make things back when this country still made things. The warehouse was unmarked, but I could hear it from the parking lot. Voices, dozens of them, shouting, pleading, threatening. A symphony of lies. I walked in through the side door. No lock. Amateurs. The space inside had been converted into a boiler room. Folding tables arranged in rows. 60, maybe 70 young men with headsets reading from scripts on computer screens. "Ma'am, this is the IRS. You have an outstanding warrant." "Sir, your computer has been infected with a virus. Your grandson needs you." The noise was a weapon in itself, designed to overwhelm, to create urgency, to shut down the part of the brain that asks questions. At the far end, a glass-walled office. The manager. 30-something, cheap suit that he thought made him look important, gel in his hair, gold chain visible at his collar. He was leaning back in his chair, feet on the desk, laughing at something on his phone, while his army of thieves shouted lies at grandmothers. I stood in the center of the room. No one noticed me at first. They were too focused on their marks, on hitting quotas, on earning their commission for destroying lives. I removed my glasses, folded them carefully, and put them in my pocket. Then, I closed my eyes. The chaos washed over me. Phones ringing, voices overlapping, the hum of cheap fluorescent lights and cheaper computers. I let it pass through. Underneath the noise, there are always patterns. Breathing. The manager's laugh had a rhythm, arrogant, punctuated by the inhale of someone who believes he's untouchable. I locked onto it, filtered out everything else, and I walked. The room went quiet as I moved. One by one, the callers noticed. Headsets came off, scripts were abandoned. I didn't look at them. I walked to the glass office. The manager saw me coming. His smile faltered. He stood up, puffed his chest. "The hell do you think you're—" I opened the door. He reached for something on his desk. Probably pepper spray, maybe a taser. I was faster. I don't fight like young men fight. I don't waste energy on rage or spectacle. I apply pressure to specific points. The radial nerve at the wrist, the brachial plexus at the shoulder, the tibial nerve behind the knee. He went down in stages. First to one knee, then to both. Then face down on the cheap carpet, breathing like a fish in a bucket. I pulled the phone cord from his desk, the old kind, coiled, strong, wrapped it around his wrist and tied it to the leg of his desk. "Here's what's going to happen," I said. My voice was calm. I wasn't angry. Anger is inefficient. "You're going to refund every dollar you stole from Arthur. Then you're going to close this operation. Then you're going to convince every person in this room that if they ever pick up a phone to scam someone's grandmother again, I'll come back." He was crying now, snot running into his mouth. "I don't have the money here." I picked up the server tower from under his desk, 20 pounds of metal and circuitry, held it over his hand. "Try again." He had the money. They always do. Cash in a safe behind a fake panel in the wall. Hundreds of thousands bundled in rubber bands like a movie prop. I took 12,000, left the rest. I wasn't there to rob him. I was there to adjust the system. On my way out, I stopped at the nearest desk, picked up a headset, listened to the script still running on the screen. "Your grandson needs you." I crushed the headset in my hand, looked at the kid wearing it. "Find a different job," I said. He nodded so hard I thought his neck would snap. No one followed me out. Arthur found an envelope in his mailbox 3 days later.
$12,000, cash, with a note typed on plain paper. Administrative recovery. No further action required. He called the police to report it. They told him sometimes the system works. He didn't believe them, but he deposited the money anyway. He came back to my shop a week after that. The Hamilton was on my counter, cleaned and serviced, keeping perfect time. "How much do I owe you?" he asked. "It's done," I said. He looked at the watch, then at me. He knew. He didn't say anything, just picked up the watch, wound it carefully, and put it in his pocket. At the door, he stopped. "Thank you," he said. I nodded. Some repairs you can't see, but you can hear
them in the steady tick of time, moving forward again. Here's what I know about thieves who hide behind screens. They believe distance makes them safe. They believe a voice on a phone isn't the same as a hand in your pocket. They believe the elderly and the desperate and the trusting are just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're wrong. Because for every person they victimize, there's someone who remembers what accountability used to look like. Someone who understands that some systems don't get fixed with software updates. They get adjusted. When was the last time you got a scam call? What did you wish you could do? Leave it in the comments, because I'm listening.